I don't know who. Is this Makoto still?
I think it's Mukuro. Huh? Yep, time had certainly stopped for Mukuro Ikusaba. It was as if everything around her had frozen perfectly still. In the past, she was known as the ultimate soldier. She had experienced this feeling before, during her time with the mercenary group Fenrir. In situations where she was surrounded by a hopeless number of enemies within the jungle or in a desert ruin, the charging enemies seemed as though they were frozen in time, which allowed her to claim a decisive victory in all her battles. I'm gonna quickly look up what the fuck her voice is, because I remember it vaguely, but I'm not exactly.
Well, you're just keeping Junko's voice for her for right now, aren't you?
I mean, I'm going to until she inevitably reveals herself as Mukuro.
She's not going to do that right now because Monokuma will just flat out murder
Do you know
her
that?
ass,
Do you
probably.
So
it's not tactically wise, and she is the ultimate soldier.
Listen, I want to keep the
decision.
Listen, I want to keep the voice in mind for later in case.
Unless she plans on rallying everybody to fight Monokuma to the death immediately.
It's fine. No, that's Junko. I know she speaks, and she's kind of like.
It's monotone as fuck.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's just monotone.
So it's just kind of.
It's just Junko, but monotone as fuck, and no Valley Girl.
Well, here's the thing. She also has a side of her where she gets super, super fucking masochistic.
Yep.
Like,
yeah, I know how it works. I've watched it all.
I know you do. I'm just
for
saying.
all the viewers. Okay. I haven't seen the anime.
Good. Yes. Okay. But this wasn't a battlefield, so why did this familiar sensation activate once again? In order to understand what had happened, Mukuro slowly tried to assess the current situation from within this frozen world. Junko and Mukuro are both children of despair, but Junko and Urashima, the true ultimate despair, harbors a far deeper darkness within her. Though their last names are different, Mukuro is Junko's older sister connected by the bonds of blood. She cooperated with Junko's hopeless plan and impersonated her under the pretense of participating in the killing game alongside her classmates. According to the plan, Mukuro was supposed to oppose Monokuma, who her sister was controlling, and be locked in a dungeon as punishment. Isolated from the others, she would escape the dungeon and perform various acts intended to deprive the students of hope. That was the role she had been assigned. When Makoto succumbed to this headache, Junko ordered her to see if the shock had caused him to remember anything that could make him a liability. He woke up as she was tending to him, so she made small talk with him, but she didn't notice any change of behavior. Until this point, she was certain that there shouldn't be any problems. Nothing could possibly go wrong.
No, until he said her name and died.
She stomped on Monokuma like her sister ordered her to and flawlessly spoke the lines she was taught to memorize. Afterwards, she would follow through a trap door into the dungeon and remain isolated from the other students. That was her role. She hadn't done anything wrong. There were no problems. There were no problems. She repeated that to herself over and over like a silent prayer. But in that frozen moment in time, what she saw was not a trap door, but countless spears. One of them had skewered Makoto into his side. Why? Makoto? Why are there spears? Ganir? I would actually, you know what? Since it's a fucking inner monologue,
This would be her voice.
Ganir, I would have died if I hadn't moved. Did Junko mess up the plan? No, Junko would never mess up. Is she trying to kill me? Me? Makoto saved me? Why? Why did he say my name? Did his memories come back? Did I not realize that? Did I make a mistake? Is that why Junko got angry? Is this punishment? Is this my fault? Junko tried to kill me. Kill me. Kill me. Kill me. Slowly, time came back to her world. Mukuro could feel her face turning pale as she slowly looked towards Makoto. The students' screams ran throughout the gym. Sayako was probably the first one to scream. but who screamed first didn't matter to Mukuro. Makoto, why? Makoto was the ultimate lucky student. He had been her classmate for the past 2 years, and now he was a sacrifice to despair.
He's not dead.
Not long ago, he had given her an answer of sorts during their conversation in the nurse's office. He was just a pawn in the plan her sister had devised. But now a feeling of doubt began forming in Mukuro's mind. What did I want from Makoto? As her heart churned relentlessly, she continued to think.
Oh.
In return, I promise that if I do decide to kill someone, it won't be you. Was I impersonating Junko then? Or did I really mean that? When did I start feeling this... When did I start feeling this doubt? Just now, the moment...
Jesus.
Just now,
Shit
the moment
together.
he saved me? Or when we spoke in the nurse's office earlier? Or when I first confronted him about his killing game before memories returned? Or was it even before that? Mukuro stood there, confused and overwhelmed, as Makoto slowly opened his eyes, the spear still impaling him through the side.
Mukuro?
Makoto, are you okay? Yep, Makoto was no longer impersonating.
Makoto is not the name that is there.
Mukuro! Yeah, no, I mean, Makoto isn't! Makoto isn't impersonating for
No,
Junko.
he's impersonating the fucking dying bitch.
It'd be the other way around.
He's impersonating death. He is.
Mukuro was no longer impersonating the ultimate fashionista. Looking up from the floor of the gym, Makoto asked,
Why are you dressed like Junko?
He was smiling. Maybe he couldn't feel the pain anymore. Or maybe he was being affected by something else. But regardless, Makoto ignored the fact that he was dying just to give Mukuro his warm smile.
I'm glad. You're safe, Mukuro.
As soon as she heard Makoto's weak fading voice, something inside Mukuro snapped. From within the shell of despair she had built up, an intense emotion began flowing out. No, this is all wrong. She couldn't hold back that emotion any longer. No. And for the first time in her entire life, Mukuro unleashed a scream into the world.
We get to hear it?
I don't know.
God damn it.
As Mukuro fell to her knees and clutched her head, a small shadow started walking towards her back. The stuffed animal that had been under her foot. Monokuma. His claw... I can kind of hear the music, actually.
Somewhat.
Actually, I wonder if I could if I turn it up a little bit,
Yeah.
you could hear it a bit. His claws were extended, and he was no longer walking with his usual waddle. Instead, he moved like a beast, silently stalking its prey as he slowly advanced within his target's blind spot. As he inched closer to Mukuro, Monokuma raised his razor-sharp claws, crouched on his haunches, and suddenly leapt toward the back of her neck. However, just before those claws could reach the paralyzed Mukuro, a dark shadow moved in from the side and swatted those claws away with one blow. Is it Sakura? His lunge deflected, Monokuma was sent flying through the air, spinning wildly before crashing into the wall. Damn you! What are you trying to do? Oh no, it's Sakura.
Damn you!
No!
No, not the right person.
No, Sakura, not Sayaka!
Ogre lady.
Damn you! What are you trying to do? Sakura Ogami, the ultimate martial artist, had just prevented another tragedy. She stood... Had just prevented another tragedy?
Yeah, she prevented Mukuro's death.
Sakura. No, another tragedy.
Yes, prevented...
Oh,
Makoto's already dying on the ground!
I for some reason thought that she was doing the other tragedy. Like, she herself had
No,
prevented
she's
you.
preventing it.
She stood before Monokuma and addressed him in a loud, booming voice. Not only did you attempt to kill Junko for violating school regulations, you even attacked Makoto, who had nothing to do with this.
If you plan to continue acting in such a savage manner, there is no reason for us to play along with your game.
Byakuya Togami, the ultimate affluent progeny, smirked condescendingly at Sakura.
I don't know what voice you want to give him.
Fool.
That's close to what I was gonna do.
Just do your Edgeworth
I
impersonation.
don't have. Fool. Is he still talking?
Yeah, he is.
One could say that's not the fucking voice I just did 5
One
seconds
could
ago.
say
Oh, right.
yeah, it's still you!
One could say you've now violated school regulations with your senseless actions.
He looked as if he was honest. He looked as if he honestly did not care if his fellow students lived or died at all.
This is.
Yes, Celeste.
Well, she merely deflected the headmaster's attack just now, so I do not think it truly counts as an act of violence.
Like Byakuya, Celeste seemed unfazed as she chided him over his words. However, the banter between the two was enough to stir the stunned students to action.
Makoto!
Sayaka was the first one to run towards Makoto, who lay bleeding on his stomach, from his stomach. But Monokuma stopped her, shouting in a tone of voice that seemed completely out of character.
Be careful! Don't get close to those two! Huh?
Startled by Monokuma's desperate tone, Sayaka and the others stopped moving almost instinctively. The students looked around at each other. Instead of his usual playful gait, Monokuma walked towards them with the deliberate, methodical steps. And then he suddenly blurted out something that took everyone, including Mukuro Ikusaba, by surprise.
I'm sure you're probably confused by this sudden turn of events, but I want you guys to work together.
As Mukuro slowly turned her head towards Monokuma, he pointed at her and yelled,
Mukuro Ikusaba and her accomplice Makoto Naegi are the terrorists responsible for locking you all inside this academy.
Once again, time stopped for Mukuro. But this time, she wasn't the only one affected. Everyone seemed to be frozen in shock. After a few seconds of silence, Aoi Asahina, the ultimate swimming pro, spoke first.
Huh? You're kidding, right? I mean, Makoto's a terrorist? That's impossible. And who's Mukuro anyway? I mean, that's Junko.
Monokuma begins slowly explaining to Aoi, because she's kind of an idiot.
The real Junko must be in prison somewhere at the school. Worst case scenario, she might be killed. Mukuro must have researched which one of you would be easiest for her to impersonate and hid amongst you by pretending to be her. She was probably trying to make sure the killing game went smoothly.
So I guess in this situation, it's a lot easier to see that Junko was just fucking trying her damnedest to betray Mukuro no matter what.
Yeah, but now she's gonna kill Makoto because of it.
Well, now Makoto and Mukuro kind of have to go up against Junko. So
Yeah.
it's kind of more of a fucking hero's sidekick journey as it is.
Except the hero is literally dying on the floor! And the sidekick is unsure of everything at the moment.
And there's no porn nurse.
There's no salad nurse.
What?
Salad.
Right in front of my salad?
No, the picture of her from the trial had salad.
Oh, that. Suddenly, Monokuma's hands and feet began jerking.
In an awkward motion.
Jerking. Just
as he looked at the other students.
oh my god. And he's like,
I'm Monokuma!
No, he's not gonna say that.
what?
The fuck?
What the fucker? Oh. Because he's trying to fucking fool them.
I'm Bashiki Madurai!
Bashiki Madurai?
Besiki, where are you getting? No.
But the Shiki is in there, and I know Shiki is like an actual Japanese name. So I think it's Bashiki.
Sure.
I'm Bashiki Madurai, the ultimate hacker!
I think you spelled Futaba Sakura incorrectly.
I'm your upperclassman. I hacked into the academy from the outside, and I was finally able to take control of Monokuma's body just a while ago.
While you were explaining the trial. I don't know who this is supposed to be.
I think it's Mukuro. No,
It's probably Sayaka?
Maybe it's Sayaka.
Take control? From who?
From the head of the terrorist organization that's controlling this robot from the outside.
What? What are you saying, Junko? Mukuro trembled as she heard the words coming from Monokuma's mouth. For a brief moment, she clung to the hope that her sister wasn't trying to kill her. But as soon as that hope was born, it was immediately consumed by despair.
No shit.
Well, no shit. Junko had the power to transform hope into despair. She would never let anyone hack her that easily. There was only one explanation. Junko Enoshima was pretending to be someone named Hashiki in order to frame Mukuro and Makoto. It was as though Junko was using Mukuro's survival as a branching path to lead to the students into a different despair.
No shit. Really? That's almost like the thing she does.
Monokuma continued talking, telling the students more lies designed to prod them to action.
On your first day at Hope Seek Academy, you guys were exposed to the sleeping gas, knocked unconscious, and taken hostage.
That's V3, but okay.
Mukuro and Makoto were probably
They were at least taken hostage.
Mukuro and Makoto are probably the only operatives that the terrorists
Jesus.
sent inside the school.
That was a weird voice crack.
The terrorists. That means they probably know how to escape from here.
And then Monokuma turned to face Mukuro.
Mukuro Ikusawa was a member of the mercenary group called Fenrir. She was a wanted criminal who killed over 10 people associated with the school.
That's not true.
So don't get stopped and think you can capture her alive. In fact, that's exactly what the cops told me. So the moment I saw an opening, I tried hacking the traffic they set and tried to kill her. But what about Makoto? Monokuma.
That is... But what about Makoto?
Monokuma gave a cold, emotionless answer to Sayaka's question.
My guess is that a measly little ultimate lucky student didn't stand a chance of defying a group like Fenrir. He was probably threatened and forced to cooperate before you entered the school.
Oh my god!
Judging from his earlier actions, maybe Mukuro seduced him. Seduced me.
Mukuro, what do you... Seduce me! Sayaka's face went pale as she heard that answer and immediately stopped talking. Mukuro raised her head and shouted,
"You're wrong! Makoto isn't a terrorist! You all have to believe me!"
The whole gym fell silent. And then, as if he was speaking for everyone there, Taka stepped forward and nervously asked, "Hold on, what do you mean Makoto isn't a terrorist?" "Sounds like you're saying there's no doubt that you, in fact, are a terrorist." "I ask that you correct yourself at once and say, we are not terrorists." Celeste began expressing her own doubts as well. "It is strange. Does it not seem odd that she's so protective of someone we all just met a few days ago?" Mukuro stood in silence. The other students' faces began to fill with suspicion and doubt as they realized they weren't looking at the real Junko Enoshima. Byakuya pushed up his glasses and began coldly pointing out what seemed out of place to him.
God damn it, I forgot the voice I was doing!
Proper. Whatever.
I know, but I don't remember which one. I have so many different proper voices.
It's like fucking whatever. It was like Edgeworth voice.
I heard that fool Makoto, or whatever his name is... I can't do voices today. Go for it.
No, it's you.
I immediately almost go into a southern accent. I heard that fool Makoto.
Oh my god.
I heard that fool Makoto, or whatever his name is, just call you Mukuro instead of Junko.
That's the one.
How would Makoto know what's your real name? Your name How would Makoto know that your name is really Mukuro if he just met you and not that long ago?
That's...
I've also heard of Fenrir.
Continued Byakuya.
As I recall, its members have a tattoo somewhere on their body.
Instinctively, Byakuya's words put Mukuro into a calm state of mind. In hostile situations, her defensive reflexes as the ultimate soldier often manifested themselves. Mukuro's tattoo was on the back of her right hand. She wondered how she could hide this from the other students without also calling attention to it. But in the end, this concern was in vain.
If the police records are true, she should have a tattoo on the back of her right hand.
As Monokuma freely divulged that information.
Oh! That's not Byakuya.
Good. Alright! Cried Taka, his voice filled with enthusiasm. Show us the back of your right hand and prove your innocence! Monokuma dispensed another unnecessary remark.
Make sure you look real close. She might have covered it up with foundation.
Junko had ordered Mukuro to hide her tattoo with foundation, so Monokuma's information was entirely true. There was nothing Mukuro could do except stay quiet. However, she wasn't staying quiet because her identity was about to be exposed. She was struck by the realization that her sister was completely serious about pinning this on her. Why the hesitation? Shouted the foolishly honest Taka. As my classmate, I have complete faith in you! From behind him, Hifumi Yamada, the ultimate fanfic creator, murmured to himself as cold sweat ran down from his cheeks.
Really, Dad? I guess you would with the card. Checkmate, huh? Why don't you fess up already?
Oh, why don't you fess up already, you fucking bastard? In contrast to Hifumi, Mondo Owada, the ultimate biker gang leader, was royally pissed. There were some students who were busy questioning Monokuma instead of Mukuro.
Hey! You're not coming to save us?
Yeah!
Shouted Leon Kuwata, the ultimate baseball star.
You should hurry up and charge in here already.
Yeah!
Yeah!
Guy Fieri!
Wait, what?
That's not Guy
It's not
Fieri.
Guy Fieri. Monokuma looked at Leon and shook his head softly.
The police can't help you right now. Not only you guys hostages, it's possible the entire school has been rigged with explosive and poisonous gas. I hacked this into Monokuma's robot. I hacked into this Monokuma's robot to investigate that for myself.
Then what about everyone on that DVD? What about everyone outside the school?
Asks Sayaka. The memory of the DVD she was forced to watch yesterday still heavily weighed on her mind, but Monokuma didn't have a clear answer.
I don't know anything about any DVDs, but there are definitely terrorists causing havoc out there. Law enforcement around the world is in shambles trying to deal with this.
I don't know who that is.
This is probably Sayaka.
That's impossible!
Sayaka shuddered and collapsed to her knees.
Oh.
Oh. Time for femboy voice.
No. It's completely feminine. What are you talking about?
Shut up.
She.
Sayaka.
Next to her, Chihiro Fujisaki, the ultimate programmer, was unsure about what she should do. Behind her, two other girls stood silently.
Kyoko.
It'd be Toko and
Kyoko.
Yeah, the first was Toko Fukawa, the ultimate writing prodigy. She seemed to be trying very hard not to look at Makoto as she lay bleeding. The other was a quiet girl who hadn't talked about much herself. Fuck you. Named Kyoko Kirigiri. Unlike Toko, Kyoko was watching everything intently, as if she was studying the scene of a crime.
I mean, she's not wrong.
I wonder why.
She's the ultimate crime scene observer.
I thought you were just gonna stop like, she's the ultimate crime scene. The ultimate crime scene.
She's the ultimate playwright. She's studying this for her play she's going to write about this entire encounter.
Good. From Makoto's breathing patterns to subtle changes in Mukuro's facial expressions, nothing was escaping
Oh, so he's still breathing. Good.
her attention. Suddenly, Toko began nervously talking to Sakura.
So anyway, let's just say that Mukuro woman, or whoever there is a terrorist. Hurry up, beat her to death or something.
We don't know that yet, said Sakura. My fists do not meddle out justice based on simple speculation. Sakura tried to get near Makoto to examine his wounds, but Monokuma stood in her way, shouting,
Don't come any closer!
This meant that Mukuro was the only one who could get close to Makoto. She has ended countless lives on the battlefield. She knew from experience. If she didn't treat Makoto's wounds, he would die. His wounds were not immediately fatal, but if he continued losing blood, he would eventually slip into shock and die shortly thereafter.
Please, you need to treat Makoto first.
Absolutely not.
Said Byakuya, harshly interrupting Mukuro.
Tying you up and examining the back of your right hand is our first priority.
Hey! Makoto's in danger! Now's not the time for that! Hey! Makoto's in danger! Now's not the time for that!
Said Aoi, as she cast a worried glance at Makoto. She was still having trouble understanding the situation and had decided if Makoto was...
Hadn't
decided if Makoto was suspicious
If
or
she
not.
had decided.
But Byakuya was about to snap back at her, but Mukuro's action stunned him into silence. She took a deep breath and then... Mukuro removed the blonde wig from her head. Where there were two long blonde pigtails only a moment before, there was now short black hair. And then the narrator's penis started growing super erect.
Which narrator?
Yes. I don't know, I mean like short black hair.
Really? I never would have fucking
maybe,
guessed.
Maybe. She cleared her face of all emotion, and when she spoke, her voice rang throughout the gym. I'm not Junko Enoshima. My name is Mukuro Ikusaba. The student stared wide at her open confession. All she did was remove her wig and clear her emotions. But in doing so, the person the students had recognized as Junko Enoshima vanished from their sight. The terrorist that had taken her place continued to speak in a calm, stoic tone. I helped lock everyone inside this academy. The confession on a seaside cliff moment has finally... The confession on a seaside cliff moment has finally arrived, Hifumi blurted out.
God damn it, way to ruin the moment.
What? Wigs are against school regulations, Junko! I mean, Mukuro! Shouted Taka. As if stirred by their cries of excitement, the other students began clamoring amongst themselves. Huh? Said Yasuhiro. So Makoto's wounds are real? Does that mean that stuff about the terrorists and whatever is all real too? So everything that's happened these past few days wasn't a bunch of staged events? As the reality of the situation began dawning on Yasuhiro, all Leon could say to him was,
Shut the hell up!
Byakuya just remained as calm and addressed Mukuro in a condescending manner.
Condensing. What does your group want? If you were after money, you would have already tried to negotiate with me, of course. I'd rather let them die than surrender to your ransom demands.
Our purpose is to fill the world with despair. Byakuya scoffed at this notion and began to speak once again.
I see. Monokuma said something similar. So that ideology is what fuels your terrorism. It's true, if you did anything to me, you would certainly fill the world with despair. But obviously, that would be impossible for you.
Aoi couldn't believe what Byakuya was saying and frowned as she muttered,
How self-centered can you be?
After confirming that Byakuya had no more questions for her, Mukuro looked at Makoto, whose breathing had slowed, and let her voice show some emotion. But Makoto has nothing to do with this. You can't believe what Monokuma says. What did you say, bitch? Shouted Mondo. I don't know what the hell you're talking about. You're a terrorist, just like Monokuma said. Mukuro looked away from Mondo and continued speaking. That is true, but Makoto isn't involved at all. Celeste coldly brushed her objection aside. I do not think trying to protect him will do you any good. After all, we heard Makoto call you by your real name. She had no words. There was nothing else she could say to protect Makoto, even though Makoto was truly innocent. Though Mukuro was the ultimate soldier, her powers were largely limited to battle.
Well, yeah, she's not a diplomat.
Even a normal high school student could outwit her when it comes to debate and negotiation. They also went into that. She's kind of an idiot. She's like the brains to Junko's brawn. Right, other way.
She's the brawn to Junko's brains.
She's the brawn to Junko's brains. Yeah. If she were the ultimate negotiator, she might actually be able to convince them that their memories had been really erased. But in her current situation, if she tried to bring up their memory loss, they would think it was a desperate excuse. Even Mukuro knew that. But even if she didn't know what to say, she still knew what to do. Right now, we need to treat Makoto first. And then she started walking to Makoto as if nothing had happened. To the others, she seemed like Mukuro had decided to abruptly change the subject. That's not Taka, because it's not screaming. Oh, it's Byakuya.
Hold it. We will immediately take Makoto to the nurse office for treatment. However, we must tie you up.
Oh.
Hold it. We will immediately take Makoto to the nurse's office for treatment. However, we must tie you up.
This was Sakura's honest demand. But there was no way Mukuro could accept it. If she was separated from Makoto, there'd be no telling what Monokuma would do to him. And between Mondo's hot temper and Byakuya's cold heart, Makoto could easily sustain further injuries under the pretense of interrogation. Furthermore, among these students, Mukuro knew she was the only one who had experienced treating wounds due to her time in Fenrir. After mulling that over, she narrowed her eyes and went silent. Her mind was made up. She was determined to fight her way out of here and escape with Makoto. I apologize, but I need you to fall asleep right now. As she said that, Sakura instantly positioned herself behind Mukuro. She was completely within her blind spot. To a normal person, it would have seemed like Sakura had suddenly vanished. After moving faster than any human being could see, Sakura's equally fast hands launched a blow towards the back of Mukuro's neck. However... Sorry, Sakura, but I need to get out of here. Mukuro parried Sakura's fist with a spinning roundhouse kick. Sakura raised an eyebrow at the unexpected counterattack. Mukuro tried to use the momentum of her kick to sweep Sakura's feet from under her. However, Sakura dodged that and instinctively struck back against Mukuro's pivot leg. But Mukuro was faster and jumped up, aiming a tornado kick at Sakura's chin. Sakura deflected the attack with one arm, and then both combatants leapt backwards, glared, and charged simultaneously.
Damn.
Every blow they dealt was parried and countered by the other. It's a fucking Dragon Ball Z battle! Every blow they dealt was parried and countered by the other, and though they were both unarmed, the sound of their battle echoed throughout the gym. It was like a typhoon had been compressed into the size of a car and set loose inside the gym.
Damn.
The other students were powerless to stop them. All they could do was stare at the breathtaking dance of death unfolding before them. After 10 minutes had passed, the enormous sound of one final impact rang throughout the gym. The two warriors leapt back at it once again and breathed heavily as they stared down at each other. My mistake. Though it's only been a... Wait.
Yeah, that's hers.
Okay. Though it's only been a few days, I cannot believe I did not notice such an impressive fighter was hiding among us. In addition to the surprise Sakura felt, it was as if the battle had left her energized. Mukuro, on the other hand, looked down at her arm, confirmed it had been wounded during the battle, and thought to herself, she's strong. I don't think Sakura is even taking this seriously right now. Despite being constantly surrounded by firearms, blades, traps, and explosives during her time with Fenrir, this was her first time she had ever been wounded. Mukuro was powerless before the might of the woman known as the ultimate martial artist and the strongest woman in the world. Just as I thought, I can't beat Sakura with my bare hands alone. If she had been directly ordered to kill Sakura, Mukuro would have opted to either snipe her from a distance or poison her. At this close range, she would need an assault rifle just to stand a fighting chance. I don't have time for this. She looked at Makoto and confirmed that his breathing had grown even shallower. I need to hurry. But at that moment, she had no choice but to turn for help.
No one to turn to for help. There is no word choice anywhere in that line.
Then suddenly, Mukuro had an idea. It was true that gaining an ally in this situation was impossible. However, she could still turn one person into her enemy's enemy. Mukuro took a deep breath before she charged at Sakura. Then she immediately feinted and charged at a different girl, Toko, who had been cowering in fear from the battle between Sakura and Mukuro in the corner of the gym.
This is bad.
This is bad. Sakura was caught off guard and tried to run after her, but Mukuro was one step ahead and reached Toko first.
Huh? Why me?
Oh,
I'm sorry.
I know what she's doing.
Wait, hold on.
Mukuro jabbed Toko in her solar plexus and she fell into her arms. Taka and Aoi yelled in shock.
This is bad. She plans to use Toko as a hostage.
Toko! In contrast, their shocked faces. Byakuya just snickered and coldly remarked,
You fool. Do you really think we care if you take someone we just met a few days ago as your hostage?
Mukuro just softly glanced at Byakuya and replied, You didn't meet her a few days ago.
What did you say?
You met her 2 years ago. Byakuya scowled, and Mukuro ignored him and held her bloody arm in front of Toko's face. And then she... Oh, shit! And then she yelled into her ears. Wake up, Genocide Jack! It seems so random and out of place. Why would Mukuro mention the name of a notorious serial killer right now? The students look at each other with confusion when suddenly, Toko, who had been groaning in pain, suddenly kicked off the floor of the gym with renewed vigor. She leapt into the air much higher than any normal human should have been able to. While hovering several meters in midair, Toko twirled around faster than a professional figure skater. This caused her skirt to flutter, revealing multiple pairs of sparkling scissors. Countless tally marks were scratched into her leg like a kill count carved into a fighter jet. If not for the situation, Toko's glamorous jumps and spins would have been a sight to behold. The girl formerly known as Toko Fukawa cackled wildly, and her red eyes sparkled and her absurdly long tongue flopped out of her mouth.
You called for me, so I appear. I got a murder IOU for you. Why owe you?
For you owe you. Toko?
The situation had changed so drastically that even Sayaka, who was silent up until now, spoke up.
Hey, you flash in the pan. Don't treat Genocide Jack like that depressing little four eyes.
That dirty little girl
Doesn't bathe herself at all, so I gotta put in 5 times of effort to rub myself down in the shower.
I think that was Sayaka.
I can't make that noise.
Eek!
Like that. Toko's sudden change of personality sent the students clamoring amongst themselves.
Hey!
Leon yelled.
The hell does that mean?
Monokuma just shook his head.
There are some things even I don't understand.
Shit. It's a masturbation joke! The students continued to panic at the strange turn of events. Toko, now calling herself Genocide Jack, took out a set of scissors under her skirt and snipped them with glee as she looked around the gym.
Huh? Man, it's been a while since I got to stretch out my legs, so what are you guys gonna do here while Jim all snoozing away? Having an orgy? I understand. I totally understand. You guys needed me to cut up your clothes so you could feel even naughtier. Yeah, right. Why the hell would I do that for you dumbasses? My scissors are only meant for cutting the supple, tender flesh of adorable boys.
Genocide Jack was causing a ruckus, but when she saw Makoto laying on the floor, she tilted her head once again.
Huh? Big Mac, you're like totally about to die. What's the deal? Did the world fill you with so much despair you came out here to commit mass suicide? That's so hot. Why are you starting without me? Toko,
Cried Aoi.
get a hold of yourself.
Genocide Jack ignored Aoi and let her emotions run unchecked, jumping and dancing with excitement as she held her scissors.
Ah, jeez. I wanted to stab Big Mac's side myself. The spot right here where the ribs are kind of showing already. He's not even screaming right now, though. What does that even mean? Oh, well, maybe I could just get him used to this feeling of alienation instead.
I have no idea what's going on anymore, shouted Yasuhiro. This is all the aliens' fault! Yasuhiro buried his head into his arms, but no one was paying attention
No
to
one
him.
ever pays attention to him.
No one ever does. The students' attention was entirely focused on Genocide Jack. Using that to her advantage, Mukuro began sneaking over to Makoto. As she cautiously picked him up, she confirmed that his body temperature was starting to decrease. I can still make it there in time. Though she was carrying another person, Mukuro managed to soften the sound of her footsteps as she ran to the gym's doors. By the time the students heard Mukuro open the door, it was already too late. She had managed to escape the gym with Makoto. However, not everyone was unaware of what Mukuro was doing. Monokuma saw her movements out of the corner of his eye, but chose not to tell the students. And one other person, Kyoko Kirigiri. She saw Mukuro carrying Makoto away, but did not inform the others as she watched them leave in silence. She would do that.
Yeah, because she wants to know the truth.
As everyone wrestled with their own personal... Well, she also doesn't know about her ultimate yet. She said she had ideas, but she only didn't confirm that until after Makoto's execution.
She knows that something is fucking fishy.
Yeah, she knows that
shit,
something's wrong.
and she still wants the truth regardless. Personality doesn't change based on not knowing your ultimate.
I know that.
I mean, it kind of does, but doesn't based on the second game's entire thing. Premise.
Anyway, as everyone wrestles with their own personal thoughts and speculations, Hope's Peak Academy began walking a path toward a completely different chaos.
Yeah, a lot of Junko's plans are just fucked.